You wanted to count down. Hello and welcome. We're back again. Finally have a name. Boring conversation anyway. Working title still, I guess. It was just sort of haphazardly decided at the end of the last one.
You're just saying this so if anyone interviews you on their podcast, they'll be like, so what happened with the name? It's like, well, like a boring conversation anyway. It was just a working title one. Yeah. But, it ended up being the real thing.
Yeah, so if anyone,
people really spoke to
Exactly,
it.
So if anyone hates it,
so
what's
fuck you,
title?
Connor, straight out of the gates.
Well, yeah, we're
both those gates.
We're back. Surprisingly, we're going to do another one of these things.
Podcast.
That thing. We got some feedback, some talk, some hubbub.
Thank you,
about
Jordan.
the last one.
Yeah. Thank you, one fan, Jordan.
Woo!
And my mum.
Thank you, mum. So this week we are going to talk about a film that we all went to see together. Happy
Without
Families.
Tina's mum.
Without, yeah.
Even though she's paying for this entire thing.
I mean,
she's pretty upset about that.
Yeah, she's like, hey, I'm paying.
She said she could expect it from Connor, but not from you, Patrick.
Yeah, because I'm the favourite.
So we
like
all...
a son she never had.
Guys, here's a prank. She's not actually paying for it. There's a camera over here. There's a camera over here.
The cameras they can't see it.
We make that hard-earned cheddar.
We've not made anything.
Yeah, baby.
So we all skipped down, holding hands, to the Odeon down the road.
Mm-hmm. We did.
And we purchased student tickets to see Murder on the Orient Express.
Mm-hmm.
There was a conflict of whether to buy popcorn or not.
Well, that was just me, really.
You bought nachos, didn't you? As I
bought nachos,
you did
right.
buy nachos.
Tina was like, hey, nachos! And we're like, Tina, no, he's talking about fucking nachos.
You're embarrassing.
Because, all the parts we delete out of this podcast is basically Tina going, I could really do with some nachos right now.
About nachos.
It's nacho day.
So, I don't actually know how many times the Murder on the Orient Express has been made into a film. I have noted that the book was written in 1934, a long time ago. So,
back to Murder on the Orient Express.
General thoughts about Murder on the Orient Express.
General thoughts
brackets.
is my favourite rejected Cluedo character. Get all listed. General thoughts.
Brackets 2017.
So
Murder on the Orient Express is the film we watched.
Yeah.
Anyone like the film?
It's pretty good.
I have some thoughts on it.
I mean, if it's...
Well, it was... I've seen better adaptations of it, even though I don't remember them.
I mean, if it was on BBC One on a Christmas in a few years, I'll watch it again.
There was the Poirot version on the ITV program. Version of Poirot was way better and way better executed, as I remember. This just felt a bit off. I don't know what it was. It just felt a bit anticlimactic. It was like, are we allowed to talk about spoilers?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I mean, people have seen the film.
Spoiler alert, okay? You still here? Ready. They all did it. So, they all did the murder. And that was a bit anticlimactic, if you ask me, because they were all it felt a bit pointless. At one point, they established that Josh Gad's character, Fatso McGee or whatever, he was
Fats McGee.
That's why he wouldn't do it. It's his boss, he needs the money. And then he ends up doing it anyway, and they never clear up why. Unless I missed something, they didn't really clear up why.
I don't know. He was affected by the murder of the little girl.
Yeah. Ages
ago, and then the grandmother was like, "You go work for him. Don't worry, we're all going to lead up to big climactic. I'm going to murder her."
Great.
What was his name? Actually?
I enjoyed
that egg thing was weird as well.
Hector Lightning McQueen. His name was.
I enjoyed the first third of the film.
Damn it.
The build up was okay, and then it just sort of didn't do anything with it.
No.
They didn't pay up, baby.
And also, I guess it was weird that the director was the main / lead character.
Yeah, it was kind of I am the best. I can solve this.
I mean, it's
God, I'm fucking brilliant.
It's really different in that so like in this film, the director was the lead character, so it was all about building his character throughout the film. Whereas last week we talked about Thor 3, where the director was some like comedy.
Yeah.
He was like comedic input, and I think that worked a lot better than being the main character.
I mean, they had character development, but they just didn't show anything about it. Like, I mean, like they kept hinting at things at his life.
Yeah.
But I don't think that counts as character development. That thing in the eggs and him having OCD and stuff, like it's his only character thing. He's like the part when he's like, I had someone in my life once.
They really pushed.
I need a vacation, like Hotel Transylvania 3 trailer. So like that's what they say at the start of the trailer. Yep. So it was essentially just him saying.
The opening was great because it's just like, I'm the best. I'm so smart. You did it.
And the difference between the Poirot in this and the Poirot in the TV show, like I guess it has a bit more character development. But if it's just going to be weak ass shit, I'd rather it just be Power in the TV show. Not rating down the film. Like I recommend it, like you said, like a Christmas Day on BBC One type of thing, maybe.
Yeah,
that's the best way to put it.
It felt like it was a lot more about getting fancy shots on the train carriages.
Which, to be fair, they were pretty nice.
Than like actually.
Pulling
off a good film.
I like some of the shots as well, but once you've seen the trailer with that one where they're all like, oh no, you know, and Daisy Ridley's like, oh no, and Judi Dench is like, whoa no, and then oh heavens, and then Olivia Colman is like, oh no.
They all say it.
They all say,
oh no. Go through every
character.
They
have ample opportunity because
I haven't finished all the characters yet, Connor.
Sorry.
And then just
what did they say? Oh no.
William Dafoe goes, oh no, but in an accent. That was really weird as well. Can I just touch on the thing that William Dafoe's character is all...
Yeah, he just kept switching.
Oh, by the way, this was an accent. Like, what was the point of that? Like, it didn't like emulate anything.
He's a German, but he's not.
Yeah.
And he had like a whole backstory. He had a more of an... I know the whole thing about Poirot is supposed to be mysterious, but he had like a better established backstory than Poirot, and we didn't even care about
but his backstory was established in like 2 minutes, and Poirot had the whole film.
Yeah, I reckon it's like one of those things, like I reckon they were writing the script as they were filming it, and they're like, yeah, we're going to establish this and this and this. And then by the time they were finished, they were like, oh, no, we didn't actually put that in the script. But it looks nice. No, it ties together nicely. And the central thing is resolved, but not everything else isn't
They did the whole reveal like 3 times, I think. I counted. Because like, he revealed that everyone had done it, spoilers again, to the secret couple, secret in air quotes there. Like when they were trying to like kill him the first time.
But then it's like before that, the doctor was like, I did it, like kind of thing. But every time it happened, I just didn't care.
And everyone did it. And then he like moved on, and then like 5 minutes later, and everyone did it.
Yeah.
And then they had the whole end scene with everyone at the table.
Yeah.
And like everyone looking a bit sad and mopey, and even though they had just all committed murder.
Yeah, they should be well happy.
And they're getting off with it. I would have been fucking
still.
Yeah,
and he was like, and you all done it.
Yeah. You all should be ashamed.
And they're like, no shit, Sherlock, except you're not, you're Poirot.
Yeah.
And then he's just like,
all together.
Like, you have to shoot me. And
I reckon
like,
at least
gun wasn't loaded.
If this is realistic, at least one of them would pull out of it, like. But then they can get blamed and they'll still murder him anyway.
Yeah.
Because then one of them would have pulled out. Like, Olivia Colman's weak-ass character would have been like, oh no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And she'd be happy because they'd go to jail, maybe.
Yeah.
And then she would not do it. And then they'd kill the guy. Oh no, because then she might get murdered as well. Damn it.
It's fucking hard.
It's a horrible cycle.
And then, like, some characters felt a lot weaker than others. Like, anger management dancer. Like, he had one scene at the very beginning and then, like, one scene towards the end.
Yeah.
Same with the
and
doctor.
That was his whole
I forgot
character.
the doctor fucking existed till he was revealed. I was
like,
yeah. Oh, yeah, you on the boat. I remember you.
Yeah, like, they tried to put all the backstories in of these people, but they tried to, like, do snapshots of, like, their past and ties to people, and then it was like, oh, they all actually have ties to each other.
It was quite a short film, I think, and I don't think that helped.
How long was it?
Just under about 2 hours.
Well, apparently, they are already interested in doing a Murder on the Nile which is the next one.
I'm not sure if I've seen that one.
Well, they would be like continuing the Murder on series, or
I know, because there's tons of them. But I just think it's like they read the Agatha Christie book, and you know, like when you're doing homework last minute on a book you don't like,
you skim
like different parts, and you have to write random quotes to justify your points in an essay, or like random parts of it. They did that with a character. They read random sentences, and they're like, okay, he's that, and like none of the things sort of like come together into one person.
Yeah,
like they can be brown, they can be blue, they can be violet sky.
I like the reveal
all
at
over
the
the
end.
place.
Well, because he goes, it's happened, sir. There's been a death on the Nile. He might as well just looked in the camera and said that, and it's just like a little
Coming
wink.
soon.
Yeah, little wink, and then they continue the scene.
What about Zane?
Zane. Do you know what I loved? Is do you know how when the train pulls off in the end, and they've got the conductor guy who's still on the train with all the murderers. He's the last one to know that they all killed everyone. He's like, oh, what? He's like, oh no.
They could like come at me right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't fucking sleep that whole journey, and after that, if I was like the only one to know they all killed everyone.
Like I would even consider that as a starting point as well. I'd be like, imagine if it was like all of them had killed them, like, because I'd be thinking about all the different scenarios. Like, Poirot could have like gone through that quicker, doesn't it?
It feels like they were like, we need to wrap up this film.
Yeah.
Poirot says they all did it.
Well, that's in the
everyone.
book, so.
Everyone lives happily ever after. Poirot leaves the train.
Yeah.
Hint at next film.
Yeah.
End. Finn.
But then there was like every once in a while. I'm pretty sure I remember there was like an offhanded remark of someone like jokes like, maybe we all did it. We all had a motive. And that's when he should have been like, yeah, I know you'll fucking do it.
I just wanted a friend to hang around with for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, the characters were good. The film had like good intentions, but like the end and the whole reveal was a bit. It was done quite weak.
Yeah, it's quite underwhelming.
Yeah.
And there was that whole thing, and they kind of hanged on it a bit. They made it look like The Last Supper. You know, the portrait, and it's how they're all sitting. They're all kind of doing the poses in The Last Supper, and you just think, for fuck's sake. It's a bit hashed in, a bit hammered in.
No one gets crucified. So
who's the Judas?
It's disappointing.
Except for this movie, according to critics, am I right, guys?
Ooh. I wanted there to be a female at the end, where Poirot just fucking goes guns a-blazing. That's what I wanted to see.
It just turns into.
I want a modern Poirot with like a boombox and a snapback, and he goes, Poirot, yo!
I'd watch a fucking Tarantino Poirot film. It'd be fucking brilliant.
And it has to be a little short, fat Poirot.
I mean, he's not got many films left.
What's Poirot?
No, Tarantino.
Oh yeah, he's only doing like 10, isn't he?
Yeah, 10 or 12.
I think his 9th one is
he did Hateful Eight.
Wait, what's he doing?
The 8th one.
Is he just saying like I'm not doing films anymore?
Well,
no, but to be fair, it's like
his whole thing is he's only gonna do like a certain number of films.
Yeah.
And Hateful Eight is his 8th film.
Mm-hmm.
And he said like he's either going to do 10 or 12. I can't remember exactly.
I bet he's going to do more films afterwards as well. He's going to be.
He might like produce and stuff, but like he's doing like a series of his own films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like that's it, sort of thing.
Well, he's like 60 now, anyway. So you know he's probably.
That was a train going past. If you heard that.
Hey guys, it's the murder on the Orient Express.
Oh, they need to murder us.
They've got the next, was it? Oh yeah. We're back to the Orient Express. I've got nothing else. So, has anyone else got anything to say about?
So, what are your verdicts then? Rating?
It's the number out of 10. I'd give it 12 murders out of 15 of the Orient Express out of didn't really like it that much. Probably like 4 out of 10.
Ooh, hard.
Or maybe 6 if I'm feeling like it's Christmas or something. I don't know.
It's Christmas. I'll give them a 6. It's Christmas.
I'll give them a 6 at Christmas.
Keeping them with the train fashion, I'll give it a late train, which causes a downfall of the family. On Christmas Day out of a Soul Train, which is very good.
Christ.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just thinking about this film.
Come
on me, Kenneth Branagh. I watched your version of Frankenstein.
Yeah, fight him. Hopefully he does better with Death on the Nile.
It wasn't I just said, twice in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're adding that tally up.
I'm sorry.
We're up to 10 years.
I'd agree, like, with what we've said. Like, it's good in some parts, but like a majority of aspects in the film let it down.
Yeah. It started off pretty good and promising as well.
So I'd give it a 6 out of 10, a 7 a push, if I'm feeling nice. And my on the DVD case tagline of the week is I know who done it, because like a third way. There's another train. A third of the way through
That's Kenneth Branagh coming.
You heard what he said, Patrick. He's coming for you.
You should have challenged him.
Yeah, and then...
So you have the tagline.
I just said... Fuck.
There's a train.
Yeah, the tag TV...
I know who done it.
The DVD tagline of this week is I know who done it, because a quarter of the way, maybe a third of the way through the film, you either remember what happens... and you go, oh yeah, this is that story, or they give it away, pretty much.
I also kept hoping, like when I was watching it, thinking, I know we're going to shut about this movie now, but throughout the entire thing, I was like, even though I did like the start and I thought it was going to be a bit promising, I kept waiting for that moment where I could be like, so when I talk about this film, I can say, but by the second act, it picked up a pace and it got a bit good. But no, it just kept going down.
I wanted Poirot to do it at the end. I didn't care. I just wanted him to go, it was me.
I just wanted to have lows.
So
it didn't make my eggs right.
I did it for the sexual thrill.
Murder on the Orient Express. The train has left the station with that one.
Oh, nice one.
Thank you.
I'm putting that in an article.
I think the sauce is actually really good, though. Can I just say that as well?
The reggae?
The reggae sauce. The Agatha Christie story in the book. And
yeah.
I recommend watching the ITV version instead. What shall we move on to now, then?
What have we been watching this week / couple of days?
I thought we were going to talk about the Infinity.
Big Mouth.
Oh, Big Mouth, yeah. Fuck it. Fuck you. I was going to do the Big Mouth. Guys, at the start of the show, I was like, guys, I'm going to talk about Big Mouth just to fuck with people.
Let's change
yeah.
We should keep changing our opinion every time I don't like it. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I didn't really know what to watch this week.
I've been busy.
Yeah,
right?
I've been short on time.
We've been having an orgy.
Yeah, you guys better step off.
Yeah, university's hard, man.
I've had to do tally. So
you've been on the Magic Box.
Oh no, I mean we had to off hypothetical television program.
You've been on the Invisible Magic Box.
Yeah, on that Invisible Magic Box. The Invisible... What? Did I watch anything this week? Oh, I watched the Jim Carrey, Andy Kaufman Man on the Moon documentary.
Is that good? I wanted to see
Have you seen the Man on the Moon film?
I've not seen Man on the Moon.
Oh, right. Well, do you know who Andy Kaufman is, right?
Yeah.
So, Jim Carrey did a film where he played Andy Kaufman. Mm-hmm. And during the whole production, he acted like he was Andy Kaufman and he wanted people to refer to him as Andy throughout the entire thing. And Andy Kaufman was known for doing all these weird publicity stunts. Not publicity stunts, but all these funny things off set.
Yeah.
But Jim Carrey also tried to act like him as well. And so things got a little bit hectic. But I recommend the Netflix documentary. I can't talk about it though because Tim hasn't seen the film.
Yeah,
so
I see the film.
Sorry guys. But yeah, I recommend watching that. I really enjoyed it. I kept thinking I'm going to watch 10 minutes of this now and then save it for the rest of the week, and I ended up watching the whole thing and it was brilliant. I like the film as well, but I might even like this documentary a little bit more.
Ooh.
It was weird because I watched the film and I was like, I didn't know it was that hectic behind the scenes. I couldn't. I was like, whoa.
I saw the trailer. It looked fucking hectic.
Yeah. It was weird because I just bought the DVD because I'd been wanting to see it for ages. And I was like, oh, wow. And then suddenly I saw Netflix making a film about it and I was like, what? This is crazy. This is such a coincidence. Anyway, I recommend that. Anyone else got something else?
I watched Lore on Amazon Prime.
Lord.
Lore.
Because we'll never be royals.
No, lore as in like folklore. Lore. Lore. It was originally a podcast, and it's now been turned into like a series.
Oh,
we can do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Let
like
me be your ruler.
it's like folklore and all that crap. So
I love Lord.
It's
so cool. She's like 20.
She's got an Amazon Prime.
And now she's got a podcast. And now she's got a TV show.
We should get her on the podcast.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's basically about like the origins of vampires, werewolves. There's a bit of spiritualistic science, creepy dolls, lobotomies, that sort of thing. Each episode is like focused on one thing. It's narrated by Aaron Mankey. He's done some stuff.
Aaron, any monkey heads in the house tonight? Woo!
It's a mix of like animation, a bit of like live action recreations of scenes, bits of like stock footage and archive footage. So like the first episode is about like vampires and how like the idea of Dracula was like came around. But the problem like with the show is the live action sort of bits.
Yeah,
like some of the actors in them are like actual well known like TV actors. Most of them are like American though.
So what you're trying to say is that Adam Sandler's Dracula is so iconic that you can't see anyone else being Dracula. So
Tiernan, what have you watched?
What have I been doing?
Yeah,
When Harry Met Sally again?
Yeah, I did actually. It was kind of
really.
I went home with a friend. Of course, she said, "I want to watch some movies." I said, "I also want to watch some movies." She would disagree with me there and say, "I don't have any friends." Full stop.
Oh, that's pretty mean.
That's pretty mean. But she's she's alright. Apart from the bullying, I watched the last 5 years as well.
How was that?
I didn't like it. Oh, it was really.
What's that?
It's got Anna Kendrick and another guy. He's on Broadway.
Oh, is it Ben Platt?
No, it's like Jeremy
Corbyn.
Jeremy Corbyn.
I love Jeremy Corbyn.
And it's a whole musical about this 5-year marriage.
Oh, is it an actual musical?
I have got that.
And it's like a chronological thing. So it's like.
Why did you watch the musical, Tina?
I didn't watch the musical. I watched the film adaptation of the musical.
Oh, god damn it! I thought I was waiting for you to say like you saw like a bootleg version of the musical and got you.
I snuck in.
Just in the back alley.
Damn it!
But it's like. So it's like the wife's point of view is from the end of the marriage to the start of the marriage, and the guy's point of view is from the start to the finish of the marriage. And it's both their perspectives and how they're both basically massive bellends to one another.
Nice.
Marriage, am I right?
And it's just...
can't live without them.
If you like musicals, you probably like it. But I was hoping it would kind of be like La La Land. Like, you get some good songs.
Did La La Land not get nominated for anything?
Yeah, it's been nominated for music. No, it's been nominated.
Oh, this year, has it?
Yeah, I saw Edgar Wright's tweet about it.
Alright, well, didn't Moana get nominated as well? I've been staring at the edge of the water. Sorry, I can't sing, can I?
Fuck it, let's get off this air.
Can we get the lyrics up and I'll sing? Has Lord been nominated?
I'll double check.
Is she going to sing her song about Big Mouth? This podcast is going off the rails. I think we should talk about...
Oh, she did get nominated. She got...
What, this year?
Yeah, not nominated.
Nominated.
For
melodrama.
She's been laminated.
She's been laminated for an award.
Just put her through a laminate.
Best lamination of a human.
It's like old-fashioned projectors. They're going to put her on like a big like light and project her onto a screen.
Oh yeah, like an assembly for like kids to sing.
And then they'll flip it over.
Yeah. And they're like, oh my Lord, that's a face.
Last 5 years. Yeah. So that's it. They just sang a lot, and it's nice at first, and then it just keeps going.
Because DC didn't do well this week with Justice League. Coco, an animated film, did way better than Justice League. I'm not shitting
I think
you.
You mean Frozen. Olaf's Frozen.
Olaf's Frozen. People want to pull that from fit.
Coco.
But people are... Yeah, that's true, but a lot of people want to pull that short out of the cinema now. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's fucking like 30 minutes long.
It's a 20... So basically, before this film, there's a 20... Disney are all like, yeah, we're celebrating Mexican culture. But before that, they have a 20-minute Frozen Christmas short being like, but we still got American culture. So like they're trying to cover it up. But I still love the short is 20 minutes. And then the trailer's what, 20 minutes as well? So then you have to wait 40 minutes to actually watch the real film. A lot of parents are going to get confused.
I know that the Odeon is doing...
they did it.
They did. They did the Frozen Adventure, but then they followed it with Frozen.
That's a way better idea.
Rather than having like...
Why didn't we get tickets, guys?
Because I don't want to.
Why wasn't someone on that?
I wanted to see it, but the thing is, I
didn't allow it to happen.
I wanted to see it, but no one would go.
That's the thing. I saw it's like the runtime was like an hour and 47 minutes, and I was thinking that was just for Ola's Frozen Adventure.
I've watched something this week. I just remembered. Well, let me just look up the name of the actual documentary before I recommend it. You guys
he's gonna. I thought he was actually gonna leave.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Please hold.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Elevator music. Insert elevator music, but like a really low level here for a funny joke here. Yeah.
Can I just steal someone's
yourself?
Can I just like?
Just make sure it's royalty free, because last time that was a hassle.
I'm sure if let me find a coupon. I'll just advertise a coupon.
Is that legal?
Well, fuck it.
So the film.
He's back now. You can stop playing the elevator music.
I'm gonna look at my phone. We're all looking.
I need to know what the name of the.
Okay, put the elevator music back on.
So yeah, I watched a film called. Are we rolling?
We've been rolling the whole time.
Oh, sorry.
We've been rolling for the last 48 minutes.
Yeah, but can you just cut out the last part? Anyway, we're back. Okay, we're back now. Well, I watched a film called The Problem with Apu, which is about Apu from The Simpsons, and this comedian goes on a quest to talk about how the character is out of date, and he's racist. And a lot of people, when the trailer initially dropped, were like, yeah, look at this PC cook, man. He doesn't know. Simpsons makes fun of all the stereotypes. But his argument was, and it was pretty valid, and he went around talking to Indian Americans. And he was saying, like, did you know Apu was voiced by a white dude? Isn't that kind of being a minstrel show? And people were like, some people were like, but you know, it's that's all the people. But then he talked about how, like, when he was younger, like, people would sort of, you can still like The Simpsons, but like people would make fun of him and a lot of other Indian Americans because of Apu. And even though the Simpsons probably didn't have the intention of it being racist, it's obviously just been like a lot of people have had a lot of shit because of it, and people have had to work up to certain stereotypes in the media. And obviously it's moving in the right direction now because we've got programs like Master of None, like the Mindy Project. But that's sort of character on The Simpsons is just not. It's just not on. It's a white dude voicing him, and
Master of None kind of covered that, didn't they? They had an episode about
they
stereotype
did exactly
of Indian Americans.
The Simpsons is from a different age if you think about it.
Yeah, and it's
how old it is.
And it can. I think it's as much as I love the character. I think they should just retire it because.
How long has The Simpsons been going on?
Oh, it's been going for 20-something years now. It doesn't really matter. It's almost, I think, 29 years, I think, now.
Things have changed since then, massively.
Yeah. Aziz Ansari's in the documentary as well.
You could say that it's just him as a person rather than him as a...
Well, a lot of people try to justify
generalization, but really, I don't think that's
a lot of people, they do. The writers have tried doing things like giving him a cousin, saying... you're just a stereotype,
Yeah.
But the guy who voiced the cousin said afterwards that he kind of regretted it because they didn't even keep a part that he said in it. At one point he said, like, you sound like a white guy doing a bad impression of an Indian guy or something like that. And then he wanted them to cut to, what's his name, Hank Azaria in the booth. And then that would have been the joke. But they didn't go with that.
Yeah.
And it just kind of... The episode ends with like the Italian chef guy going, oh, mamma mia, where's everybody a stereotype? So it's kind of like the Simpsons protecting themselves, like saying, this is what we do.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. And I love the Simpsons, don't get me wrong, but I just don't, I think it's just a different time now, and you just can't do that to people. You can't just, and it's more about, they've made Apu be like, they've given him like PhDs and stuff, I think, and they've given him a lot of achievements. But at the same time, people don't know him for that. People know him for thank you, come again, and all those sorts of things. And that follows people around. And like It's ridiculous.
I mean,
and it's just
did help stereotype.
The fact that they tried the Simpsons. Hank Azaria showed up to do the documentary as well, which makes me a bit ashamed because I loved him in Night at the Museum too. A really great film. I'm not even lying when I say that's a great film. Go back. It's a Christopher Guest is in it and everything. I recommend you go back and watch Night at the Museum too and just think about how funny it is because it genuinely is funny. But that's not the point here. So the problem with the poo was on True TV. You can probably watch it. I think it's up on YouTube somewhere and it was trending. And it's a good watch if you just want to know more about the character because my opinion was definitely swayed throughout it because I was sort of on the fence on the thing.
Thank you for listening, everybody. This has been the second episode of this podcast. We did it again. Clap, round of applause all round. We did it.
We're finished. We're good. We're never
Thank you for listening.
Let's talk about Big Mouth.
Thank you for listening and goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.